ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Mahopanisad, chapter 5, read 173.
यस्य चेच्छा तथा निच्छा न्यस्य कर्मणि तिष्ठतः न तस्य लिप्यते प्रज्ञा पद्मपत्रमिवाम्बुभिः।
Karma binds when the desire for karma phala is there. A jnani who has neither desire nor no desire is totally indifferent about the karma phala. Even if he takes to karma, he is not bound by them. He is totally aloof like the lotus leaf in the water. This being the case, Rubu gives a test to find out whether one has known the Atma Swarupa directly or not. Read 174.
यदि तेनेन्द्रियार्थश्रीः स्पन्दते हृदि वै द्विज तदा विज्ञात विज्ञेया समुत्तीर्णो भवार्णवात्।
द्विजा यदि इंद्रियार्थश्रीः ते हृदि न वै स्पंदन्ते और पाठांतर इज स्वदन्ते स्पंदते और स्वदन्ते तदा त्वं विज्ञात विज्ञेयः भवार्णवात् समुत्तीर्णः. When this happens, certainly you have got the Atma Sakshatkara, Brahma Sakshatkara, you are free from the ocean of samsara. What is it? Dvija, O Brahmana, exalted Brahmana. Yadi, in case if this happens, Indriyarthashri. Indriyarthashri means the wealth of sense objects. The wealth of sense objects. Why sense objects are called wealth? That is what we do. Just as people run after the wealth, so also they run after the Vishayas. And wealth also is meant for Vishayas, bhoga only, for sense pleasures only. Therefore, this glamour of sense pleasures, the glamour of sense objects, is yadi te hridi, yadi vai te hridi, in our antakarana, na swadante, na spandate. We can take first na spandate, means when in your antakarana there are no more vishayakara antakarana vrittis. An ignorant person left to oneself always runs after the sense object with the hope that he will get some happiness. As a result, the mind is always centered in Vishayas. Vishayakara vrittis are replete in the antakarana. A person who has nothing to get from the Vishayas, who is totally indifferent of them, he never thinks of them. There is no occasion for Vishayakara antakarana vrittis to take place in the mind of such a person. He doesn't run after them. Spandate or swadante. Swadante means delight, please. That is when the sense objects no more delight you, no more please you. Just see the state of the mind of an ignorant person when he gets the desired object. He's so happy. When he loses, he's so sorrowful. As far as this person is concerned, whether they come or not, he is totally indifferent. There is a phrase in Sanskrit, agate swagatam kuryat gachantam na nivare. If they come, okay, well, fine. Go, okay, fine. He is totally indifferent in the sense he doesn't depend on sense objects for one's happiness, because he has discovered his Swarupa, which is Paramananda Swarupa, in light of which sense pleasures have no value at all. Just as when you return home after a sumptuous dinner, the dal roti has no value for you. That may be temporary, but here it is forever. When this happens, means when the sense pleasures no more hold any fascination for you, you are totally indifferent. This is natural. Why? We are full Paramananda Swarupa. Tada, then, tvam vidnyata vidneya. The good phrase like jnata jneya. Vidneyam vidnyatam yena. What needs to be directly known is known by who? Vidneyam. Vidneyam is what? Sakshat kartavyam. That of which one has to gain the sakshatkara, that is vidnyatam sakshat kritam. That is what is known. See, if you remember from Vivek Chodamani, the purpose of Adhyayana, study or inquiry into the Adhyatma Shastra, is to gain Atma Vijnana, Brahma Vijnana. Anything short of it is of no use at all. And once one gets it, there is no need of adhyayana of Shastra. You may remember, avidyate pare tattve shastradhitistu nishphala vidyate pare tattve shastradhitistu nishphala. You are taking to the study of Vedanta, but Vijnana has not taken place. Avidyate pare tattve. When Paratattva, Brahma, Atma Swarupa is na Vijnata. Na Vijnata means na Sakshatvata. You are not directly aware of its nature, real nature. You have no experience of Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa. That's what Avidyate Prati. Shastra Adhiti Nishpala. All the study of Shastra so far still has not got the fruit. Useless, redundant in the sense, it has not fructified. Suppose you got the knowledge, Vijnate api pare tattva. Even when the Sakshatkara is gained, then also is what? Shastra Adhiti Sunishvat. In the sense, your purpose is served. The Shastra Adhyayana has nothing more to give you. You have reached the destination, the vehicle by which you reach there has served its purpose. It has no more any purpose. Like that means Shastra Adhyayana must be to gain Atma Vijnana, Brahma Vijnana. Atma Sakshatkara, Brahma Sakshatkara. If it does not gain, useless means it is not going to give the promised result. If it is gained, its purpose is served, no more necessary. Unless, of course, one who teaches others, etc., he can do that. Therefore, Loka Sangraha. So, tada Vijnata Vijneya, the one who has known directly what needs to be known, that is only Atma Swarupa. See, why so? Why do we get any jnana? To get the benefit thereof. The student studies, etc. Why? Earn money. Or something, get rid of sorrows. Like that. So also Shastra Adhyayana is to get the highest accomplishment, that is Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, the Aparoksha Anubhava of Atma Swarupa. So therefore, the one who has got the Tada, you can know for certain, Bhavarnavat Samuttirnaha. You are Samuttirna, Samyak Uttirna. You are totally crossed over the Bhavarnava, ocean of samsara. Ocean of samsara. Why samsara is called ocean? Difficult to cross over. I hope where you any time now, age, have you traveled the ship? Sturdy ship must be there. The small boat will not work. It's not a river. So that, and once you reach in the interior, all around is what? Water and water alone. Can you ever dare to swim across? No. So now you have to totally rely on the boat only. So, which is difficult to cross or means 24/7, every moment this samsara is banging on us. How? So long as you have the mind, samsara is. In sleep, no samsara, but unfortunately, cause is there. Ignorance is there. In waking and dream, samsara is there. There is not a single second when we are free from this experience of samsara. So therefore what? Better cross over by gaining the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. So if you accomplish this, you have crossed over the ocean of samsara. Now what is to be done for this? Nidaga, do this, you can get freed from samsara. Continue.
उच्चैपदाय परया प्रज्ञया वासनागणात् पुष्पात् गन्धमपोह्यारम् चेतो वृत्तिं पृथक् कुरु
उच्चैहि पदाय परया प्रज्ञया वासना गणा चेतो वृत्तिम उदारम पृथक कुरु पुष्पाद गंधम इव. See, this Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, which is our real nature, the true I, we never miss it. We are never away from it because it is our Swarupa, real nature. One can never be away from one's real nature. And see, in spite of this, we are totally deprived of the correct knowledge, correct experience of our real nature, which is all along. What denies it? What denies it? The mind. Which mind? Preoccupied in the Vishayas. Why it runs after the Vishayas? Desire is there. Why desire for Vishayas? Vasanas are there. You have the value for the sense pleasure. So therefore, this value for sense pleasure, not knowing one's Paramanda Swarupa, it makes our mind, and with the mind, Indriyas go toward the sense object. As a result, mind is full of desires, Vishayakara vrittis, vasanas, desires, Vishayakara antakarana vrittis. This is our what? Raw material, which we can never get away from that. And this is what covers our Swarupa. From this only, we will have to extract our Swarupa to the total exclusion of this Vishayakara vrittis. As elsewhere given, Vivek Chodavani, Munja Dishika iva. Like that, Ishika, edible core, separating from Munja grass, which is very sharp. If you don't handle it properly, it will cut your fingers. So like that, in our 24/7 Vishayakara vrittis, which have become natural, we have to extract our Swarupa, the Chaitanya Swarupa, free from them. So therefore, how can you do that? It says, Pradnyaya, like this, Uchchai Padaya, to gain the highest abode, Uchchapada, the highest abode. To gain the highest abode, what you should do? Pradnyaya, by Viveka Pradnya. Viveka Pradnya, that is the Atma Jnana, being aware of what Swarupa is. What should be done? Vasana Gana, from the host of desires. Vasana can be also desire, consequent Vishayakara Vrittis. What you should separate now? Cheto Vrittim Pruthankuru. Separate the Cheto Vritti, Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti, or in short, Antakarana Vritti. From your mind, isolate, separate, discard the Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti. What do you mean by that? In your Antakarana, Vishayada, on the screen of Antakarana, Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti should not appear. So when you do that, and how it should be done? Udaram. Udaram means properly. Properly in the sense your attention is focused on Chidabhasa and thereby the Chaitanya which illumines the Vishayavritti. Presently, in the state of ignorance, the attention is focused on the Nama Rupa of the Vishaya to the total exclusion of Chaitanya, which is there in terms of Chidabhasa. You have to now reverse this habit. Focus your attention on Chaitanya and not Nama Rupa of Vishaya. This is where Vairagya is indispensable. Mere Vairagya is not sufficient. Atma Vichara, Shravana, Manana need to be taken. To know for certain how Chaitanya Swarupa, me, is aloof from all Adhyastha Prapancha. So therefore, Pradnyaya, by Viveka Pradnya, by such knowledge, properly, from this collection of desires or Vishyakaranta Kadrutti. What is that? Cheto Vritti Pratakuru. Isolate means throw it out of the screen of your Antakar. What remains? Chaitanya only remains. How is it? For which an illustration is given? What is it? Pushpad Gandham Iva. Flower from which the fragrance emerges. Focus your attention on fragrance, discarding the flower. Any blessed Vishyakaranta Kadrutti Focus your attention on Chaitanya and not the Vritti. Okay, no much says, Pratibodha viditam matam. Bodham bodham prati viditam. With respect to each and every antakana vritti, by discarding it, what is that? You land in your Sarupa. In the Mandukya, 7th mantra, beautiful phrase is that. Ekatma pratyaya saram. Ekat pratyaya saram. In many pratyayas, one and the same Atma Sarupa, Chaitanya, you arrive at. That is what Atma Brahma is. So Pushpad Gandhamiva Prathak Kuru, separating. Who are the real jnanis that define now, describe? Continue.
संसाराम्बुनिधावस्मिन् वासनाम्बुपरिप्लुते ये प्रज्ञानावमारूढाः ते तीर्णा पण्डिता परे.
Samsarambu nidhau asmin. Sandhi. Nidhau asmin. Asmin vasanambu pariplute. Samsarambu nidhau. Ye pare panditaha. Prajna navam arudha te tirna. Asmin, in this samsarambu nidhau. Ambu nidhi, ambu means water. Ambuja, what is called this lotus. Ambu nidhi means ocean. Which ambu nidhi? Samsarambu nidhau. In this ocean of samsara. And what water is there? What is that water? Vasanambu paripluti. Paripluta. Totally full of water of vasana, desire. Now think of it. You need not go to any market to get desires. You are bundle of desire. As a Jiva, an entity is nothing but desires and desires. If had he no desire, he would have been what? Not Jiva, Shiva. Again, don't take Shiva means Kailasa, there is Shiva. Chit Swarupa, Chit Shiva. Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. See, really difficult to take to or know that desire is the main culprit which deprives us of our Sarupa. Because for an ignorant person, desire is a friend. Because it helps you to gain what you want in terms of happiness. How come it will be like this, that we should give up? Why this concept? Desires for Vishaya, sense object from the world, are the sources of happiness. This notion we have harbored from immemorial time in the past. The jiva, the entity, is anadi. From anadi kala, from that past time onward, every janma we have what? Harbor the desires only with the concept that Jagat gives us happiness. That being the case, those sanskaras, called vasanas only, are so deeply rooted in our antakarana mind, in light of which, even if Shastra, Guru comes and tells, why Bhagavan himself comes and tells, this desire is an enemy. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma viddhena maya iha vairinam. Know this to be what? Vairi. Anyway, it doesn't sink. We may nod our head because Krishna said, but we don't take it seriously. That is where we get deprived of our Paramananda Swarup. That doesn't mean that you can throw away desires overnight. No. Lot of effort necessary. To begin with, Duritakshaya, annulling the past karmas, bad karmas, the sin. Then, for which you have to live a life of dharma for a long time. And once Duritakshaya takes place, slowly Viveka dawns, Vairagya dawns. As a result, the person takes inquiry, what is real and what is not real. What I want to seek in life, what I should not seek in life. All this, as guided by the Shastra, becomes very clear. Earlier also he had exposed the Shastra, but that clarity was not there. Mind used to get carried away by that. So now he is totally convinced. That is the role played by Dharma Charana, a life totally given to the norms of Dharma. It destroys Duritas in course of time. Viveka dawns, which leads to Vairagya. When Vairagya is there, the person withdraws from his general normal pursuit of running after the Vishayas. As a result, he gets the leisure, he gets the time. That's why Vividisha Sannyasa. Take it Vividisha. Vividisha is not a jnani, he is a mukshu. He wants leisure now. He wants time now to take to vichara. So that's why. So this getting rid of desire appears very difficult because of our mind having got steeped in it since anadi time. Because jiva is so anadi, begin with one. But therefore, what does it mean? Great efforts are necessary. You cannot take the things for granted. So that's how it is. So asmin vasanambu pariplute samsaramuditav. In this ocean of samsara, which is full of the water called desires. Vasanas means you have practical level desires. Pariplute. Yea, those who have taken to these means, what are those? Prajnanavam arudha. those who have arudha. Arudha means what? Who have taken to, who are riding on, who means who are traveling in the boat. Which boat? Prajnanavam. Boat called Atmajnana, Brahmajnana. Those people, those people who have boarded the boat of Jnana, they Panditaha, they ये pare pandita. Those are great panditas. Again, we are saying pandita. Who is pandita? Who has got panda? What is panda? Brahmajnana, Brahmavidya. We jnanis. And why pare? Exalted. That knowledge itself makes them exalted. Jnanis who have prajnanavam arudha, have boarded the boat of Atmajnana, Brahmajnana. They, those, say they, tirna, they have crossed over. Crossed over what? Samsarambuditim, ocean of samsara. Think of it. To get freed of samsara, you have to board the train, not train, you have to board the boat of Atmajnana, Brahmajnana. Their conduct is now described to some extent. Read.
न त्यजन्ति न वाञ्छन्ति व्यवहारं जगद्गतं सर्वमेवानुवर्तन्ते पारावारविदो जनाः
पारावारविदो जनाः जगद्गतं व्यवहारं न त्यजन्ति न वाञ्छन्ति. सर्वम् एव अनुवर्तन्ते. सर्वम् एव अनुवर्तन्ते. These people, paravara vidaha jana. There is a patantara is there. Parapara vidaha jana. If you take paravara, those who know the other shore of ocean, means those who have crossed over the ocean of samsara. If you take paraparavidaha, those who know the I mean reality is para and apara. Para, exalted. How? Being the Chaitanya, being the Adhisthana of the entire Jagat. Avara, not exalted. The Sakshi Chaitanya. At individual level, Sakshi Chaitanya. At the total level, the basis of entire Jagat. You just see, we have to take a vichara. You think of anything, you do of anything. Can you do that without Chaitanya? Will you do that? No. Let us see. The entity which is at the time of beginning, this birth, the entity which continues to be at the time of death and the entity which is in and through all along, that only can be your real Swarup. Because you and the entity is all along there. So in our individual cases, find out that entity which is all along. Can you do that? Before that, you'll have to take two or find out what all things we take as I. What are those things we take as I? Or as an individual entity, what do we consist of? To begin with, physical body, which is functioning, means pranas are functioning, physiological functions. Mind is necessary, buddhi, etc. comes there. Then all these are inert. Some sentient factor must be there. You can say spirituality. Spirit. Spirit in the sense consciousness. Among all these things, because I am all along, the entity which continues all along must be me. Other entities come and go, come and go. If this we have understood, come on, find out what is that entity which is all the time there. I am born. To say I am born, for the person who makes this statement, what is the prerequisite? What is indispensable? I am aware that I am born. Is it not? Without that, can one say that? When you say, I am aware that I am born, what makes you aware? Awareness, Chaitanya, consciousness. I'm just giving an analysis of a section. We can't go to the Anadita or Ananta. The individual, every day, in terms of sleep, waking, and dream. One who goes through this. Now, for him to begin with, I am born is what? That awareness must be there now. Before birth, awareness was there. I am no more. I have left the body. Should you not be aware of it? Awareness is there. In a true, during sustenance, what is that? Birth, beginning point, death, ending point. In between, you are there undergoing all experiences. For this, Chaitanya required or not? Yes. Chaitanya was at the birth. Chaitanya shall be at the death, Chaitanya is in and through all along during the sthiti. Janma, Marana, in between sthiti. Any number of years it may be. We are not concerned with that. Now, okay. Now take, you are born, childhood. Is it permanent? Boyhood or girlhood? Permanent? No. Boy or girl? No. Adult? Not permanent. Middle age? Not permanent. Old age? Not permanent. Body? Not permanent. Mind? Not permanent. Changing. In spite of this, we discard the I and take anatma, what is not I, as I. That's what it says. Who, having boarded the boat of Brahmajnana, have crossed over this, what is that, ocean of samsara. Truly they are what? Persons who have crossed the ocean of samsara, and they only can be called as what? Pandita. Pandita, jnanis. Continue.
अनन्तस्यात्मतत्त्वस्य सत्ता.
No te janti na vanch.
That is read, Swamiji. We are given the Anvaya.
Ah, yes. Paravara vido janaha. Sarvaha. Then we have to say, no te janti na vanchanti. They neither give up, nor covet, nor desire. With respect to what? Jagad gatam vyavahar. All that take place in the Jagat, neither they desire for, nor they give it up. What they do? Sarvam eva anuvartanti. So they do everything that comes across, what they confront with, without any asakti. Means prarabdhavasha. Whatever that comes across them and they have to do it, they do it and just leave it. They are not concerned about the result of what they do. So what we have seen so far makes it clear that this vasana gana means what? The collection of desires. That is the cause for all this subsequent ramifications. So how to get rid of that? So long as vasanas or desires are there, no more. Freedom from vasana, desire, more. This is the fact. What becomes evident? One has to give up vasana, desire. You can't keep desires and then get knowledge, not possible. That is the main obstruction. Desires drag the mind to Vishayas. Mind engross the Vishayas being extrovert, cannot appreciate Swarupa, for which introvertedness is necessary. So that being the case, whether one is samsari or freedom samsara, the main cause is desires. One who is totally engrossed in the Vishaya has no time or no leisure or no inclination to get abide or to get absorbed in one's Swarupa. So that being the case, you destroy the desire, it is as good as you have destroyed the samsara. Continue.
अनन्तस्यात्मतत्त्वस्य सत्ता सामान्यरूपिणः चितश्चेत्यो संकल्पाङ्कुरं विदुः
Yat anantasya atmatatvasya, namely satta samanya rupina chitaha chetyonmukhatvam tat sankalpankuram viduhu. Tat sankalpankuram viduhu. Whatever it is like this, what is it? Yat. See, like this. Desires, samsara. No desire, freedom from samsara. This being so, yat, whatever that is, anantasya atmatatvasya satta samanya rupina chita chetyonmukhatvam. Whatever that is, chetyonmukhatvam. Turning to. Chaitya means Vishayas. Chaitya. Chit, Chaitanya, awareness principle, what it makes you aware of is Chaitya. See, I am speaking. You are hearing. The Chaitanya which makes you hear what I spoke is what? Chaitya. No, not Chaitya. Chaitya. Chit is awareness principle, which makes you hear what I speak is a Chaitya. Sound is Chaitya. Chaitya means Vishaya Drisha, that's all. Derived from the word Chitpur. Sense objects, Drisha Jagat, it's all Chaitya. Whatever that is made known to you is Chaitya. Yat Chetyonmukhatvam, extrovertedness toward the Vishaya. Whose anantasya atmatatvasya, of the endless atma tattva, This is Satta Samanya Rupina, which is in the form of Satta Samanya. Satta Samanya is the general existence principle. Is. Satta Samanya Rupina. Tasya Atma Tattvasya of Atma Swarupa. Atma Tattvasya. Chitaha of this Chaitanya. Chitaha Chetyonmukhatvam. Extrovertedness means turning to Drishya Vishayas. That extrovertedness. Tat Sankalpankuram Viduhu. It is considered as the Ankura sprout of Sankalpa. Sankalpa is desire or Manovyapara. Sankalpa can mean decision also, but here it is not the context. Desire or all meditations. Means the extrovertedness of the mind is the root cause of what? Sankalpa, desires, or what is that? Manovyapara or Manovyapara. As a result of which we get ourselves deprived of our Swarupa, Paramatma Swarupa. And this Sankalpa Ankura, even if you have a little of it, it goes on growing. We'll see. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ